That's it, lads. Get your comments coming in. We're about to go live very shortly. Right, here we go. Hello, Milk the Irish Football Fan TV. We are here to talk about an Ireland victory 3-0 over Scotland at the Aviva. That's more like it, Paul. How are you feeling this Monday morning?
Uh, Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. What a performance. My mate turned to me at 2-0 and he said, have we actually scored two goals after 30 minutes at home? And one very, very good goal at that stage in particular as well, which has to be said. But yeah, stunning. What a performance. Could have been more as well. Absolutely buried them from start to finish. And look, you have to be happy with that. You have to be happy. What a win. And it gets some people back on side again as well.
Yeah, I say it is. I say it's Monday, but I could actually have said what day of the week it is because it's just been that type of weekend. I've been out enjoying myself since Saturday, so I'm back to normal now. I suppose, yeah, looking at it, like we did the match preview talking about this game, and we were quite down, and we were quite, do we really have to play it type thing. I'm obviously glad we did now, but we were going into that very much thinking negatively. The way the results have been going before that, it was a case of, you know, we'd be lucky to get out of this game with a draw. And in fairness to the manager, he came in and he made changes. He said he was going to make changes. We knew that because I think we did the preview after the press conference. So we knew changes were going to come in. I think some of the changes we actually had said that we want to see players like Malumbi coming in there to add that bit of freshness and energy in midfield. And boy, did he do that. But I suppose, look, I have the lineup here in front of me, so I'll go through it with you. We went with Kelleher in goal, which made sense to stick with him, although I did say maybe giving Travers a run might have been a good thing to do. But anyway, he went with Kelleher, and in fairness, that paid off. Then Duffy Egan. I thought Egan was injured, so I was very surprised with that one, and Egan captain as well, because normally it's Duffy. But anyway, I wasn't complaining. Nathan Collins then as the third centre back. And now I say the third centre back because there was a lot of confusion over this lineup. James McLean, Alan Brown came in as the wing backs. Then Malumbi, Cullen, and then Jason Knight, Michael Obafemi, and Troy Parrott up front. So that was the lineup. Callum Robinson dropping to the bench, Enda Stevens dropping to the bench. And I think that was it in terms of dropping to the bench. But these were the kind of changes that we wanted to see. These were well, maybe not Alan Brown at right back. That was a welcome surprise because I thought he was absolutely outstanding there. The longer the game went on, he grew into the game. Even like before his goal, I thought he was doing quite well. He was keeping Robertson quite quiet on that side. Done his job magnificently and showed that he can be an option there now, a viable option going there now, and he got his name, or he got himself on the score sheet as well. So you have to say hats off to him. And in terms of the lineup, when you saw it, like, were you surprised? Because if you went off the UEFA graphic, it looked like a 4-3-3 with Alan Brown being a midfielder and maybe Nathan Collins being the right back, but it was the same formation that everyone was just kind of giving out about. But I think the fact is that we had the energy in there with the likes of Malumbi. You had Jason Knight who'll get around the pitch as well. You've Josh Cullen who'll get around the place. So you've got three really busy players, and then it allows the likes of Troy Parrott and Michael Obafemi to stay up top and kind of be an outlet. And they were brilliant at linking up, which I'm sure we'll come to at some point.
Yeah, I was a tiny bit surprised. I was surprised by Alan Brown at right back anyway, that's for sure. But look, he was fantastic, like you said. Was good defensively, and sure he got the first goal as well. Okay, it was on the line basically, set up by Duffy, but he was there and he scored it, and that's what he's done for Preston over the years as well. In terms of the midfield, it's exactly what we said we wanted on Friday when we done the preview. Malumbi was excellent. You think he won the ball for Obafemi's goal as well, which I know a lot of the credit has to go to Obafemi, but the ball was won there as well. Just more energetic. It kind of takes away from maybe the tiny bit of lack of quality that is there at times. Is that okay? You're still winning the ball high, and that counts as an assist as well. Malumbi was great. Jason Knight was great. Josh Cullen was great. And as you said beforehand, he ran something like 11 kilometers in the game, which is stunning, and that's what you need. and especially in that formation as well, like you're basically missing out on one midfielder if you think about it. So you need the boys in there to be constantly going, constantly energetic, and it worked. And as you said as well, it gave the lads up top time up there to create stuff, and that's what they did. I thought it was a brilliant performance, the best one I've seen in a long time at home. And I think it's the first competitive win at home in 3 years, I think they were saying. So, I mean, listen, a huge one. And they deserve the plaudits. And I'm delighted for Stephen Kenny as well, because he's got a bit of flack the last while. Probably, I don't know, like, probably unheralded, but like, brilliant, brilliant, a brilliant day. And that's what we need. We need more days like that. But again, has to be said, we have to do it again on Tuesday now.
Yeah, well, I just think, we were our own worst enemy at times during this game, like a couple of times playing out from the back, and I know Duffy got caught in possession a couple of times, and they had chances. Like I have, you know, uh, we we actually started quite well because I remember I know Jason Knight made a foul on McTominay and that disrupted the game for about 5 minutes just at the very start. But there was a moment where Brown got the ball and he turned from the right side and crossed with his left foot, and I think it just went over. I think it was Troy Parrott's head, and the keeper Gordon had to make a save down to his right, and that kind of got the crowd up a little bit. Then I have there in the 10th minute good hunting down by Obafemi, who was forced Grant Hanley into an error there, and he looked lively at that stage, and he'd done a nice little flick to Jason Knight out into left, and then he gave the ball to McLean, but McLean's delivery wasn't the best for that one. I have to say though, his delivery on set pieces was brilliant though. After that, his corners and stuff like that, which obviously led to the first goal. I'm just out there. In the 11th minute, Scotland went down the other end, and Ralston he out muscled McLean and sent the cross across. But then Robertson hit a shot, and it was straight at that man, Alan Brown, who was brilliant throughout the game, I thought. Then in the 12th minute, this was the one I was talking about, where we were kind of at that stage they were coming on to us, and then we did well to dig in. But in the 12th minute, Keller played the ball to Duffy inside the box, and he tries to play a pass. I think it's to Josh Cullen. That gets intercepted, and then they had a shot, and luckily Kelleher saved it. And they'd won then just after that with John McGinn, which wasn't far off. Or I think that was actually after the goal, yeah, it was. But they had two really good chances that we got lucky to get away with. And well, luckily we did, because Alan Brown obviously got the goal, but I think it was there in the 18th minute, McLean with a very good right-footed cross, and Scott McKenna takes it off Obafemi's head out for a corner. Do you remember that one? I think if it goes over the defender's head, Obafemi has a shot. I think he scores there, but he put it out for a corner. I think we had a series of corners after that, and then one of them came through. McLean, he was whipping in really good balls into the box. We've been crying out for him to do a bit more of that now. In fairness, he delivered on the night, or on the day even. And yeah, look, I mean, the ball across, Shane Duffy in there being a nuisance like he always is. Didn't have the best game in terms of being in possession, but when he was just doing his simple game of defending, I thought he did well. But when he was kind of overcomplicating it with trying to play out from the back, I mean, sometimes I see Kelleher just getting the ball and he just hoofs it. Sometimes I'd just be as well just for someone like Duffy to just hoof it instead of taking too much time to try and find a pass. I think he takes an extra second too long, and sometimes gets caught on it. If it's a game where we're kind of relaxed and we're not getting pressed down, then fair enough, let him have it. But sometimes just, safety first. But anyway, he heads the ball across. Alan Brown hits the ball in. I think it's off his groin. And anyway, it went over the line. It was the most Irish goal you'll ever see in recent times, unlike the last goal that we scored in this game. And look, that got us going when we went 1-0 up. I always say we look good when we go 1-0 up. We look like we want to play a bit more. And I think Scotland come on to us a bit more, which actually suited our style of play a bit more. So that's why I think when we go a goal down, we shit ourselves, because we lack that bit of creativity, and they just make a low block and make it difficult for us, and we just look lost for ideas. But when teams come on to us, then we have a bit of an outlet, and I think that's when we played our best football. But anyway, Alan Brown, 1-0. What were your thoughts at that point?
That was brilliant. I actually did, because I was right up the other end, so I didn't even know it had gone in, because it was kind of a bit of a muted celebration, because I think people thought there might have been a foul or something happened, but it was a bit muted. I don't know what it was, but yeah, great to get a goal. You take those goals, especially in international football. And look, Alan Brown, I mean, I saw him score against Bulgaria as well. It was a similar enough goal, and even the header against Belgium. He's probably got a combined total of about 10 yards for his 3 goals for Ireland, which is something else. But look, he's been a good servant to Ireland, and you look at what he does for Preston as well. He plays in a lot of different positions there too. Takes a lot of set pieces and penalties and stuff as well. He's he's a good player. Like, he's a good man to have, and like he can play in a number of different positions. Proved that on Saturday as well, and yeah, fantastic, a great start, and couldn't really believe it, because you think just before that, I think they had a chance where we lost the ball at the back. John McGinn had it; he put it wide. He probably should have put it home.
It was just after that, because I'm just looking there. It was in the 26th minute and we scored the
Oh,
20th, so it was literally just not long after it. And then
yeah, yeah.
we literally go down the other end and score them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or I was thinking back on that. If they had scored, then it probably would have
It
given
was
them a
the one.
full
It
goal.
was the one before that. I can't remember who took the shot, and Kelleher saved it low down. It was from Duffy's pass, but then there was another one with McGinn, which is probably the one you're talking about, and that's after we scored. So
Yeah,
we
well,
got out of jail there. Yeah, he just went
yeah,
past the post.
yeah. I think with the playing out from the back, I mean, you're gonna have that, like, like like Man City have it the odd time. If you have a high press, which Scotland did have, you're gonna lose the ball at times. And I think it's just knowing when to boot it forward and when to not. Like, you don't have to do it all the time, and you don't have to play out from the back all the time either. Like, you have boys who can win headers there as well, and you have lads who can play football. Like, it's just about knowing when to do it. And I think from the start, Scotland were pressing, so why not just get it forward then? But look, they didn't score from it, so it doesn't matter. But again, it's just about knowing. And look, fantastic to go 1-0 up, especially in the first half. And look, gave us a serious foothold from there.
Yeah, well, I suppose we'll just jump straight into that chance from McGinn, because I think that was again. I think that might have been Duffy again. But anyway, it's just I had tweeted at the time, chance from McGinn as Ireland gave up possession, and McGinn just strikes wide. A lucky escape for Ireland, and then literally we went down the other end. Michael Obafemi, he's about 30 yards out. He looks like he's gonna kind of play it out wide right, and he literally just turns around, stops on the ball, and just puts in this perfect ball and just says to Troy Parrott, "Here, you just nod it in. That's all you have to do. Literally be in the right place." Great movement from Troy Parrott as well. Don't forget, but the ball was just so inviting that the keeper thought, "Oh, maybe come out and claim this as well." And the defenders, it was in between them, so it couldn't have been a more perfect ball. And I think everybody in the stadium was just amazement that we were crying out for all this creativity, and realistically, we had it really right there, but he just wasn't playing them. Now I understand Callum Robinson had been doing brilliant for Ireland in the last window, in the winter window, and in March, and he was doing really well for us. But I think play the players that are in form sometimes, and they'll show you. And I think, look, Troy Parrott, since the Lithuania game, and I say that about Nathan Collins as well. Since that Lithuania game, the two of them have gone up a level. Between Nathan Collins got player of the match that game. Troy Parrott scored that goal, and he went on to finish the season really well, scoring all sorts of top quality goals, and looks like he's gonna go somewhere next season and be a real threat if he doesn't stay at Spurs. So I think when you're looking at that now, and you've got him in there, you've got Parrott in there, you've got Collins in there, and these are all players that are stepping up to the mark, and I hope that they play again tomorrow now against Ukraine. But like, we've players that, like, Troy Parrott's got his fourth international goal already. I think he's only 20 years of age, and I think he's only gonna, like, the more he scores in games like this, like, it's gonna just keep benefiting him, because when I remember watching him before he scored any goals for Ireland, and he was just devoid of any confidence and just didn't score. But once he scored that goal against Andorra, different player altogether. And now he just looks comfortable playing the Aviva. And I remember watching him as a young fella for the 21s, and he did always look a level above. And here he is scoring the goals. And I know people have been impatient with him and stuff like that, but you can't remember how young he is as well. And same with Obafemi. Like, he was bombed out of the team for, I think, 3.5 years now, and he's come back in, and as he said on his Instagram, "I've arrived." So long may his arrival be there. But I mean, I don't know where you were sitting in the ground, Paul, but when that goal went in, and just that kind of, I think everyone stopped in disbelief to say, "Whoa, what a goal that was."
Yeah, yeah. We were just behind Kelleher to the maybe to the left if you're looking down at that way of the pitch. didn't realize how far out the pass was. Knew it was a good pass, but didn't realize how far out it was until watching it back after. A lovely goal. I mean, you could see Wes Houlihan putting that ball through. I mean, it was a cracking ball, cracking pass, and Parrott couldn't really miss. Like Gordon has to commit, he has to come out. If Parrott gets there first, it's a goal, and he did. Great run from him. In terms of Troy Parrott as well, you mentioned the people who were a bit impatient with him. You think about it, last season was probably his first full season of football, really, because you think he went on loan a couple of times, he was in and out, he got injured a couple of times, he's coming back to play for the 21s. I mean, that's only every couple of months as well. Come back to play for Ireland as well. So last season was probably his first full season in a decent side that had a good season. We're lucky not to get promoted. But yeah, I mean, and with Obafemi too, he's arrived now. Listen, I think he arrived when he started scoring for Swansea. I know he's done it for Ireland now, but he was in and out. Obviously, there was a couple of things they wanted him to play for 21s. He didn't, stuff like that. But look, he had a cracking game. He's got that bit of quality. He's played in the Premier League as well. He's done stuff there for Southampton. I mean, there's a lot to look forward to now, but we have to keep it going. Have to keep it going. Can't go back on the negative runs again that have happened. Have to get results in the next 3 games in the Nations League, and then go into the qualifiers that are coming up after that in good spirits. And I think it's good to have options up front. I mean, you think, okay, Ogbene was injured, Robinson came on as well at the end. Like, these guys have got a bit of quality and they've got goals in them. Look at their stats from this season, and there's only going to be more from that, And look, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Troy Parrott. Will he go back to MK Dons? Will he move to the Championship? Probably still be unknown. Will he stay at Spurs and just be in the squad? Maybe Conte might want that because they're in Champions League as well. But yeah, fantastic stuff. And we just have to be thrilled with it because it doesn't happen that often, but long may it continue.
Yeah, you'd just be wondering, is Conte watching him now for Ireland and seeing that he's scoring goals at, international football level, which is still a very high level, despite what people want to say about it. Like,
Yeah,
just the Scottish players, Robertson playing in the Premier League, and, you have players like McTominay and this and that, and he didn't look out of place at all. I remember him actually roasting Robertson at one stage as well. So I think, look, Conte should be looking at that and going, well, okay, look, get him in for pre-season. If he doesn't feel like he's ready, get him a good loan to a good club where he's going to be the main man and the main striker. Or playing that too, kind of the way he did with Obafemi. Their link up was insane. It was just so good. Like, they were finding each other. They just looked like they were really enjoying playing with each other. And the way they celebrated, the thing I loved was with the goals, the way they all celebrated with each other. And showed that real togetherness with them. And I love seeing that with them, especially with Obafemi's goal, which we will talk about. But you can see it, like Parrott, when he turns around and he sees Obafemi, he's like, what a ball. And we don't see enough of that. We don't see enough of the taking the risks. I think we said that as well in one of the shows recently. I know I was definitely saying we don't have players that take risks in the final third. And that was a risky ball, but it was a risk that paid off. Do you know what I mean? And I think fans want to see stuff like that, where we are taking risks and trying to get, like, if the ball goes too high and out of play, so be it. But at least you're trying to do something and you're being positive and creative. So, but look, I have to say Troy Parrott's movement for that goal was excellent as well. So, it's great to see him coming of age a bit more now, and it will be interesting to see whether he can kick on from this at club level with Spurs. But I wouldn't be in any hurry, like, to see him get into the Spurs team. In fact, I'd be happy enough to see him go on a foreign loan somewhere where he could be a good player. Like, you never know, there could be like a German club looking at him going, do you know what, we could take him for a season and let him come in, and it's not as intense and as physical, it's more of a technical game, and I think that would suit him. But look, we'll wait and see. Anyway, he's starting to show real signs of his potential as well. Despite not having a hugely influential game, he still got on the score sheet, he still played well, and he constantly looked threatening, and he never hid from the ball. He always wanted to get on the ball and try and make something happen. And was well able to get stuck in as well when needed, and he was pinning their centre backs at the time. I would like to see him maybe bulk up a little bit, just to be able to hold people off that little bit more. But again, as I said, he's only 20, so maybe he's all right for now, because if he bulks up, he might lose that yard of pace. That yard of pace to get in behind at times. Do you know what I mean? But I just think he's quality. I suppose after that, then we had one chance. Then Knight kind of went on a famous driving run, as he does, and he forced the corner. I think McLean whipped in another good corner, and we came close with that. Then after that was kind of quiet. Ryan Christie gets a yellow card for fouling Jason Knight on the counter attack, and again, that's why I think Jason Knight's very smart, where he gets players booked like that. Now he just ran for the sake of running into space and knew he was getting clipped, and he was on his own. I think Troy Parrott was kind of just going to the right of him, and he could have given the ball out there, but he took the foul, got the yellow card, and at that point, then I felt like, okay, we know we can see this game out. We've got the game management here to see this game out. So, look, half time I have Republic of Ireland 2, Scotland 0, goals from Alan Brown, Troy Parrott give us the lead. A bit shaky at the back at times and riding our luck, but Stephen Kenny asked for his attackers to be more ruthless in front of the goal, and they have been. Thoughts at half time. So, yeah, your thoughts at half time, Paul. Did you feel like, I had a feeling like if we concede, it'll be very, very nervous. And I didn't foresee us scoring the third, to be fair. So where was your head at that point?
It was the same. I think if they get a goal back quickly, then it's going to be very, very nervy. I think the lads' heads might drop a little bit. But look, they didn't. They done very well. And look, as you said, they scored again. Basically, I think it was 51st or 53rd minute or something it was. And I mean, that basically killed it. But yeah, at half time I was a bit nervy. You always have in the back of your head, like 2-0 is always a dodgy lead, especially when you get two quick goals like that as well. But look, Scotland they looked a bit knackered, to be fair. They looked like they weren't really interested. I mean, losing that playoff to Ukraine would have been very, very disappointing, considering how good a campaign they had in the group as well. They would have been disappointed with that. But look, listen, obviously you have to be a bit nervy. It is Ireland. We've been hopeful in the past, and then it's gone flat. Like, even you think of the last two results were so flat, but they were brilliant. They were fantastic. They managed the game brilliantly in the second half, and yeah, I mean, still delighted. Still can't really believe it's that sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think a few people had said it. Like, yeah, I hope it's just not a one-off result where it's one of those. But see, when you play players that are playing in form and finish the season strongly. Whereas Robinson hadn't been playing that much. Like, I don't have a problem with Robinson playing. I think he's a good player and stuff like that. But he wasn't playing that much towards the end of the season. Like, if you look at when the last time he kicked the ball compared to the games that were kicked off there last week, that's what I more mean. I think Obafemi had played more. I think Troy Parrott had a playoff and stuff like that. So his season went on that little bit longer. So maybe it would have made more sense, excuse me, to play them. That's more what I mean. But look, I'm not complaining. I think the freshness was exactly what we needed, and as you said, in the 51st minute, one of the best goals, if not the best goal scored at the Aviva since it's been called the Aviva. In your opinion, I struggle to think of a goal that's been scored like that in ages. Like Andy Reid used to score crackers like that, but no one really else kind of springs to mind for me as long as I've been going. And it's just been so long that maybe there's a recency bias to it. That he just got the ball, as you said earlier, Malumbi with the fiery aggression and intensity that wins that ball back. Troy Parrott finds Michael Obafemi, returns the assist favour on the back foot, turns, spins. I don't think he can believe the amount of space he's in, and the only thing he sees in front of him is that big goal, and he absolutely smashes it home. And the Aviva went insane at that point, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely bedlam. I had my hands on my head. I was like, what am I after seeing here? Like, and it goes to show you, when you strike from distance, you know, you score. We let enough teams have strikes of distance on us, and they score. And then Troy Parrott does it against Lithuania. Michael Obafemi does it against these. So maybe we should start shooting more often. But again, we've been crying out for players to start hitting more shots from around that kind of range, and hitting them on target. And people are blaming the goalkeeper, this and that, but that ball was struck with such power and swerve. It was just one of those. The minute he left his foot, it was like something out of FIFA, wasn't it? You know, when you hit the knuckleball and boom, you know it's in, and then the celebrations, everything just was perfect about that goal, and it made the day perfect, I felt. After that, I kind of stopped keeping track on the Twitter and stuff like that. I was still turning around to Gary and just going like, what's going on here? But when you saw that goal, because you said you were behind Keller for the other goal, so you would have had a great view of that one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, no, we're right down at the front, so you can't really see how far out they are. Now, I knew it was a cracking goal, but I didn't realise how far out he actually was till I watched it back on RTE. But yeah, I'll say one thing. Like I was right behind Craig Gordon. Like there was no chance he was getting that. You knew it was over his head once it was hit. You know, he knew himself, and he even done well to even get up for it. Like you know, it was that high. The fact that people are criticizing them is outrageous. If maybe they're just criticizing because it wasn't exactly in the corner, but that proves it doesn't have to be. If it's a good strike and it's moving, like that could have been going anyway, and it went. It must have swerved right last minute, but there was not a chance he was getting that. Gordon, it was an unbelievable strike. What a goal! In terms of the best goal we've seen at the Aviva, the only one I can think of really, Kevin Doyle got one against Andorra years ago, which was a cracker. But like,
The Shane Long against Germany might be up there just because of how important it was, maybe.
and that's a lovely finish as well. You got to give Shane Long that too, right in the corner. But yeah, it's the best goal I've seen live at the Aviva anyway. That's for sure. And I mean,
Can we just clear one thing up before people start going off in the comments? Like, he's called he means the best goal in the Aviva, not like Lansdowne Road was Lansdowne Road. This
yeah,
is now called the Aviva now, so that's more what Paul means. So just in case people start going, what do you mean? Blah blah blah. It's since we've been playing there and it's been called the Aviva more so is what Paul means. Sorry, Paul.
yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah, no, it's not. But and like I'd say as well, I was only in Lansdowne once as well, and I think they beat San Marino 5-0 that day, and there was no outstanding goals from that. Obviously, I watched some on telly that were great goals, but yeah, I mean, I think yeah, definitely the best goal I've seen in the Aviva anyway, from an Ireland point of view. I think of an FAI Cup final, Michael Duffy's half volley against Rovers that time, another cracker, stuff like that. But yeah, the best goal I've seen at the Aviva anyway, that's for sure. And look, one we can look back on again and again. I mean, I'm still watching it back now today, and I'm saying unbelievable. But yeah, fantastic, fantastic, and look, still delighted, still can't believe it. And look, I mean, they could have had a fourth as well. You think about that. I mean, I don't know if it was over the line or not. I couldn't really see it from where I was, but yeah, I mean, fantastic. What a performance, what a win, and still can't get over that we've scored 3 goals.
Yeah, well, I think after that, we're not going to go too much into the whole game after that. But like they made triple sub at 57 minutes, 6 minutes after we scored. Like they brought on who did they bring on? Sorry, they brought on Armstrong. They brought on a couple of others, but Christy McGinn and Jay Adams all went off. Stewart went on and Brown went on. That's what I have there. Then in the 60th minute, because we had brought on Scott Hogan for Obafemi, who actually just got injured just before that. But Scott Hogan, and literally he had a headed chance that, in my opinion, we saw it on the replay at the time on this TV monitors beside us, and it looked like a goal to me. The goal was getting checked, but for some reason it wasn't given. I haven't actually seen that chance back, but I was just looking at that going, imagine that had went in. Scott Hogan getting his first international goal. And that would have been great for him as well, unfortunately. And it would have 4-0 would have maybe flattered us, I think. But anyway, I do think that that should have been given as a goal. But after that, we were in cruise control. They were bringing on subs. It looked like they had really accepted defeat after the third goal went in. They brought Sutar on for McKenna. And then in the 83rd minute, we were just making subs to just, I suppose, give the lads a bit of a break. Parrott came off, Malumbi came off in the 83rd minute, Robinson and Hendrick came on, and then it was full time. A statement win for the boys in green. Stephen Kenny was forced to freshen things up, and boy did he do that. 3 goals and a clean sheet, a great performance, exactly what everyone wanted to see. On to Ukraine next. And that's the way we were all coming out of the Aviva then at that stage and just going, absolutely fantastic. We wanted to see a win. Everyone was buzzing, and it's funny because everyone was kicking off with us in the comments on last week saying, "Oh, how can you not be saying Kenny deserves to have his job?" It was like, we'll assess the managerial situation after the 4 games. When you got 4 games in a quick succession, what's the point in talking about a manager being sacked in between the 4 games? Because it's just not going to happen. If anything was going to happen, he would be sacked after the 4 games. But the fact is, he's got this win in between it, and there's a statement win. Look, there was a couple of inconsistencies with the first 2 games in terms of results. But if we can get a win or a draw away to Ukraine, I'd be happy enough with that because it's obviously going to be their full strength team out. We're missing Duffy and Egan now because they're Duffy's suspended and Egan's got family reasons why he's not there. Jimmy Dunn's come into the squad, so I think we're a bit weaker this time around playing them. Obafemi came off injured, but he said he's all right. It's just a niggle, he said. So let's see how we're going to shape up in that. But I just think that it's quite positive moving forward now that we have players that come in and they can show a performance like that. And I know, look, we're going into the Ukraine game maybe a bit lighter than we were going, but maybe Malumbi and stuff like that can get in, match the energy. I think Cullen will play again, but Cullen needs to be careful because if he gets another yellow, he's on a booking away from getting suspended. So you wonder if he'll be risked. Do you know what I mean? Will Hendrick come back in for him? I don't know, but Howard actually came on as well. I probably missed saying that, but it's going to be interesting to see what way the defense is picked. Does someone said there, does Darragh Lenihan come in there, and does he get a chance? Dara O'Shea as well. Nathan Collins, he'll be the first name in the team sheet in terms of the centre backs, but it's just a matter of who plays beside him. Dara O'Shea's never let us down. Looks, I've said he's on par with Johnny Egan, and I think he'll come in and be like for like. It's just then, does Darragh Lenihan come in and be like Shane Duffy? You keep jumping out there, your internet keeps going, but you're back there, don't worry. No, you're all good. That's the beauty of live TV. But yeah, I'm looking at it, and it's at that where do we go with our defence now in the next game? But the 3-0 gives hope to a lot of people. I just hope it's, if we get beat now on tomorrow, that people aren't going, 3 defeats out of 4, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, some of our players aren't playing. Do you know what I mean? And I appreciate it's a squad game and you have to play with what you have, and that is fair enough. But at the same time, if we go out and get a result, maybe if we take the lead and we can play well from there, that's what I'd like to see. But it will be interesting to see what way we line up and what way we attack the game, because obviously we need to make up for last week's game at the Aviva, and hopefully we can get them. They'll probably be tired after a long season and the heartbreak of not really getting into the World Cup after losing to Wales. So they're a good side. I'm not taking it. I think they're the best side in the whole group, so it will be tough, and they're going to have the full strength team out. So I just think we have to be realistic at the same time as being optimistic coming off a win. That's all well and good, but we need to be careful too, especially when we're missing big players. Seamus is out, John Egan's out, and Shane Duffy's out, and all 3 of them would be Stephen Kenny's first choice as captain if he had any of them fit.
Yeah, definitely. I think look, there's got to be changes. It's going to be different, but just have to try give the same performance again. I mean, it's the last game of the season for everyone. I think before a couple of weeks off for pre-season, just give your all. Try replicate performance on Saturday. As you mentioned, they're the best team in the group. They are. They're actually better than I thought they were as well. Because if their second team are that good, their first team will be. We've seen them. We know a couple of their players. I mean, Zinchenko looks a different player when he plays for Ukraine, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, you got to give it to them. Fair play, but look, it's important to end on a positive note. Even if we lose, a good performance, but. Look, we shall see tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see the team line up. Jimmy Dunn has played a lot for QPR this year. He'll be coming in. That you have Darragh O'Shea and Darragh Lenihan as well. He'll probably try to do the back 3 again. Collins will definitely be there anyway, that's for sure. But yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to another game. Coming off that, it's probably better to play as fast as possible again. So. Hopefully they can end the season on a high with a good performance and a good result, hopefully.
Yeah, well, we'll wait and see. Gary is here over in Poland. He flew this morning. Jer's over there as well, and so is David. So we've plenty of people representing IFF TV. I was meant to go, and now I can't, and my flights were booked and everything like that. So I was raging that I missed that. Now that would have been a nice little summer holiday for me, but I will be doing a watch along on our channel. So if you want to come along and join us on that, if you're not going to the game, and 3-0 win. Life's good till tomorrow. let's just enjoy the positivity for now, and let's just enjoy the win, and go back and just watch the goals on repeat if you want to cheer yourself up. If you're not happy this Monday, I know most of us are, but if you're not, just go back and watch the goals on repeat. Just cheer yourself right up. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's see how we get on. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like the video as well if you don't mind. I mean, why wouldn't you like it? We won 3-0. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, as I said. And yeah, sorry, I'm so happy I don't even know what to be saying anymore. But we're going to let you go. Huge thanks to Paul for joining me, and we'll speak to you all soon. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Paul.